Very nice. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Not Your Tropical Girl. Cool. So I'm lucky enough. Lucky duck. Sorry, I'm just trying to, here we go. Pin. There we go. Perfect. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome, she's a Taiwan-based filmmaker of Atayal descent. She made this film originally for the Mobile Film Festival of 2020. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Limuy Asien. Hooray! Hello!
Hello!
Try to get you some good claps. Welcome, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. It's currently 6 a.m. here.
Amazing! Well done. So you're coming at us from Taiwan?
Mm-hmm.
Whereabouts exactly? Is it Taipei?
I'm currently in Taipei. My hometown is in Jianshi in Hsinchu.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is that far?
In a community called Naro, where I shot my short film.
Wicked. Very nice. Well, thank you so much for getting up early, for being here and talking to us and letting us show your film.
I'm honored. I'm honored.
It's amazing. We're honored. Okay, we're going to get straight into it. It's interesting. So I come from Canada, and I find it interesting that this film is addressing the objectification of Indigenous peoples in Taiwan for commercial gain. I've found in Canada, where I'm from, and in Australia, where I used to live, Indigenous peoples are generally hidden and considered invisible, even by the commercial industry. So please tell us about the particular struggles of the Atayal and that experience.
I think what you mentioned about this invisibility in media is one thing, but sometimes when Indigenous peoples, they are incorporated into, for example, films or advertisements, or sometimes Instagram posts, they are used as some kind of tokens. It's interesting because in the textbooks, we don't really see them. But suddenly, if we talk about indigeneity nowadays, we feel that's used by the government to use as some kind of decoration for the multicultural society. But it's not really addressing the, for example, in Taiwan, 400 years of oppression that they have on indigenous peoples by stealing their lands and their languages. And it's really underrepresented. And that's why I want to talk about this in the short film as well.
Yeah, that's what your short film was inspired by, giving a voice to this.
Yeah, I really want to challenge this discourse of us living in a multicultural and inclusive society, but microaggression still happens. Especially, I want to talk back to an incident that happened last year at the Golden Bell Award ceremony, which is a very prestigious award for television production in Taiwan, in which Han Settler presenter jokingly imitated the sound of monkeys when she announced the indigenous nominees, saying that, "Isn't this how you speak?" And that was really a traumatizing moment for me.
So that's just out there.
Yeah, it's out there. And also, speaking of Instagram, last year, a very famous Instagram influencer, before she visited an indigenous community in Taiwan, published a post in which she states that, "Oh, I want to look for a very macho, tan-looking guy that's very indigenous to me." And this is actually the inspiration behind the naming of the film, like tropical guy, tropical girls, that's often be associated with indigenous peoples. So that's also the thing I want to talk back to in my film as well.
Yeah. I'm going to bring up Arafili to come up and chat with us. There she is. Arafili, miss you.
Hello, Limuy. How are you?
Hello. Yeah.
Thanks for waking up from me as well. This is very touching. Well done for this amazing and very authentic work. It's one of these very unconventional pieces that come across as very have a very strong message, and yeah, they're very authentic. So it looks like actually a successful piece of activism. And what I really like is that I have the sense that the girl is trying to exit the frame. In a way, she's in a kind of a fight with the camera. How did you put it together, and what were your influences?
Wow. So I've been thinking about the tensions between indigenous peoples and cinematic framings during my time as an undergrad at NTU, where I currently study as well. And when I saw the promotion of France's Mobile Film Festival's calls for films, I thought that given the relatively low barrier to produce a 1-minute film on a mobile phone, I can probably give it a shot despite having no budget and being basically a one-person crew. And so I wrote the lines, the protest lines, just within 5 minutes, and I practiced it with Guyu, my cousin, and we just walked around my village, Naro, in an afternoon and made it.
So it was very organic.
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily call it a film. It feels more like a protest, a film consisting of several fragments of protest from an indigenous girl in Taiwan. And I want to have her constantly exiting the film because contrary to all those ethnographic or anthropological documentary that try to frame indigenous peoples as an object, I want to show that you is an active subject that can not be contained by the frame.
Yes, because he leaves the frame in the end.
Yes.
She's just
yes.
like,
Actually,
and we're just watching the scenery, which is very interesting. She just chooses to leave us, the viewer.
Yeah. After asking the question, "Why are you filming me for?" and she walks away. And I think for me, using this 1-minute medium can help me deliver this kind of message in a pithy and expressive way.
Yeah, you did.
It's amazing how sometimes restrictions like that can push you to be more raw and more creative and more authentic.
Yeah, so I don't know. We have time for I was just wondering because I don't know how to put this. You know, at the moment, this period, the industry is trying to correct the discrimination that was doing in the past. So they're trying to have representation. But sometimes it feels that it's a bit forced and they're trying to kind of tick the boxes. So I'm always a bit conflicted. I'm like, on the one hand, you know, you want to see representation on screen and you want somebody that's young to see somebody that looks like them. On the other hand, it's a little bit of a different form of commodification. So what do you think of that?
I think it depends on what kind of messages you want to deliver and from whom the film is made, to which community it serves, and to what ends do you want this film to have an impact. And for me, having the chance to write this short film myself and to walk around the village with my cousin and to interact with the community all at once contribute to this indigenous filmmaking experience for me that is not appropriated by the settlers, for example. It's basically like taking the camera into your hands and tell stories from the perspectives.
So
I think that itself is important.
It's about representation in creators. Is that fair? In the creators.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
In the voices.
I feel like if indigenous peoples can watch my film and laugh, and not nervously laugh, but really heartily laugh, and really serve the purpose, because it's made by indigenous peoples and for indigenous peoples.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Bravo. Very nice. You cool?
Thanks very much for waking up and for making this film.
No problem.
Amazing. Yes, Limuy, thank you again for coming on and getting up and stuff. And I hope you said you were working on your paper. I hope that you finished that or that's gone all right.
Yeah, I submitted it last night.
Yeah, you did. You finished it. Bravo.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, woo. Great. Well, thanks again so much for coming on. Again.